Hey everyone, welcome back to more Endless Legend. I'm DisturbingPuppet. We're about to start a new campaign today. I'm probably not going to do videos of every single turn of the campaign just because it does take quite a long time. At least my first campaign sort of seemed that way. So this time we're going to be starting with the Drakken and going through. So Drakken, main vector type is diplomatic. I'm not sure how that would work. Like this is only my second campaign having played. First time I played as the Wild Walkers. So the Drakken are an ancient and venerable race. The scholars of the Drakken prize lore, history, and wisdom above all things. Few in number, but exceedingly powerful, they do not seek war, but rather relationships, information, and knowledge. Faction histories, artifacts, and ruins are highly prized by the Drakken, while wealth, military power, and advanced technology are viewed as insignificant. So we have our basic settler, of course, founding new cities. Drakkenling, who does not fly. A Drakkenling's ability and sharp reflexes still make it a frightening melee opponent. There's Wyverns, scout and eyes of the faction. Wyvern are used to patrol the skies near Drakken cities, warning of enemies. And an ancient, sage and solemn, the ancient is seldom found outside the halls and towers of Drakken cities. When it is, it generally means that a lot of enemies are going to die. Alright, so we have a couple abilities and things down here we'll take a look at. So we have Diplomatic Pressure, Master of Statecraft. This people can force peace, truce, or even an alliance on another player due to their wisdom, persuasion, and prestige. I'm sure there's going to be a big cost for that. Mystical Words, it's a trait during Dust Eclipse. When the general confusion and bouts of arcane mysticism the Dust Eclipses bring, unruffled Drakken diplomats are more effective during negotiations at this time. So less cost, for treaties and negotiations. Endless Excavation. Hereditary keepers of endless artifacts and knowledge. No other people are so adept at unearthing secrets and mysteries from ancient sites. So it's extra research and influence from the ruins. Ancient. So that's our ancient Wyvern, just the units. Language Square, special building we can build. Looks like unlocks Parley and Bribe empires, something like that. The main quest, cherishing your role as the protector of Auriga. The many troubling changes in your world force the Drakken out of their isolation as they seek to learn. As you explore and discover new peoples and new problems, you are challenged as well to discover the roots of your own race and its ancient honorable duty. We have Advanced Diarchy. Experienced at the necessary negotiation and discussion that takes place within the government, this faction can more rapidly put complex empire plans into action. So empire plans are unlocked in one era earlier. Well connected. Being an ancient race with ties to all the peoples on Auriga, this empire knows the location of every other race's capital, so that probably tells us who they are as well. We have our unit, and we also get Empire Mint right away, it looks like. So yeah, let's take that. So we are going to be playing with a total of 6 empires total, playing on a map with a couple continents, probably a few continents, regular shape, temperate, average topography, all that normal stuff. We're doing normal like last time. Yeah, I think blue is fine. Let's go ahead and see what we have to deal with here. Very cool looking. So I haven't played this game much. Like I said, this is only my second campaign, did a little bit of tutorial stuff. I'm a little surprised how many just human factions there are. So I was tempted to play one of the human ones in this one, but these guys are a bit more tempting, kind of playing something a little different. We'll see how they play compared to the Wild Walkers. I'm not sure what we have to do as far as just story to actually win through a story. Because last time I ended up wiping out the other factions, and I kind of needed to at the point I was in the story. They were just sort of conquering everything, just got down to one other opponent left, and they were literally blowing up the continent and destroying all of the stuff, all the resources, the forests, all that kind of stuff. Not so nice. I'm kind of curious. I was looking, like, there is sort of the underwater race too, and I don't know how they would work because, I mean, I can understand you could fight ships at sea, but how would they take over territory or interact? I mean, interacting from coasts, like, can they not be invaded if their territories are underwater? Like, how does that work exactly? But we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of curious to see what we'll find here. There probably will be at least one or two other factions that are obviously going to be like the enemy for everybody. And hopefully, because we're sort of diplomatic, we can kind of get an alliance together and deal with that. Maybe it'll make it easier if there's an obvious threat for us to sort of get alliances with people. But look like we can force it, but I'm sure that's going to be a big diplomatic cost or influence cost for us.
We have always been here. The Whispering Galleries have always held the memories of our people. Then they came, and they lifted us up. But they fought, and they fell. Our world was swept by cataclysm, and we were left alone. Still, we persevere, protect, and maintain, as we always have. We may lack their sight and their knowledge, but we can still read the omen.
Oops. I was trying to take a screenshot, and it skipped through the intro and moved the map in a really weird way. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So apparently 3 different factions starting down over there. Maybe? I don't know, that's weird. Why do we have vision of so much stuff? We're up here. I know we have vision of capitals. That's a ruin. Wasteland. I don't know who controls city center. What are you, though? There should be a way to tell, like, who they are. New minor faction. Acrids. Okay, so we have, like, these weird guys, probably in our territory. The Hydras. Okay. No, that's over in... So there are Wild Walkers, and they're over in the Wild Walker territory. So it's showing us, like, the minor factions. So I know there's Wild Walkers there. Okay, we can actually see on the map here some of these. You are... Oh, these are the Dreadlords or something, aren't they? Broken Lords. Kind of an undead type faction. Over here... One of the human factions, I'm not sure which. Vaulters, okay? Is that the same? Yeah, so it does kind of loop around. Dell's here. What is this? It's an odd looking structure, but it doesn't seem to react when I click on it. Ruins. I don't see anything. That's got to be a city. Yeah, it's a city center. But I can't actually tell what it is. Like, what faction. Because I don't see an army or anything. So yeah, I'm not sure who that is. They're not super far from me, but quite close to me. Something else, and I don't know who these people are either. City center as well. Alright. Acrids, go away. Garan, Minotaur guys. So they're down over there. Then we have... Okay, it's actually going to tell me here. So, Broken Lords. Hail to your grace. Let us hope we become honorable acquaintances. We can actually start negotiating right away. I don't even have a city yet. So we're Cold War indifferent at the moment. Broken Lords could be a bit of a problem. So I'm assuming we can just look... Yeah, we can go to diplomatic relations right away. I don't think I have... Yeah, I've got literally no influence. I probably can't do anything if I wanted to. So yeah, we've got all kinds of costs for things. Right now, we probably need to research some stuff to actually get any kind of decent agreements going. Anyway, after them, we also have the Wild Walkers. How fare you, fellow traveler, upon this world blessed by Gaia? Let's go ahead and get out of that screen. We have the Empire of Lilia, Valters. Hello, stranger. We hope that our dealings will be brief and peaceful. We have the Empire of Teros. Accept our greeting, stranger. We are the Alai, loyal children and defenders of Mother Auriga. I think they focus on like winter stuff. They have a lot of winter special effects. And these are the spy type guys. Encountered the Empire of Kui. We are prepared to speak with you. Your envoys will be returned unharmed. And we've encountered the Dorgeshi. Is that in my territory or where I'm at? No, they're over there. Alright. Dorgeshi. Okay, these are the cavalry guys. I've seen them before. Alright, let's take a look and see where I am. So we have our little army here. We've got some ruins. The winter area, like up there. So we start off with a settler, 1 infantry unit, 2 infantry units. Okay. Yeah, where would we want to found a city? It's not really gonna... I don't think it gives me like an indication of where would be a good location. We definitely want... Like, we can get more, I think, out of ruins. So we know there's ruins there. Got 4 movement, that's not a ton. Let's kind of look around. A lot of water here. This region is fairly big, not super crazy. I don't see anything that interesting in here, like no special stuff. Well, okay, we got a massive tree here. An abomination of a tree. The trunk is a grotesque medley of 100 different barks and a canopy revealing a dozen types of foliage. Timber and fruit will certainly be plentiful. So that's nice to have, but we don't necessarily want that like next to the center of the city. We want a pretty open area that we can kind of expand from there. So we might want to found the city out over here somewhere. We could possibly have the ruin incorporated. I'd like to be a bit more open to being able to expand more. Do get some extra production here. We need to have room to build additional districts adjacent, and if we can't build districts on top of some of this stuff, and we need to have the space. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, is where I would want to put for future development. I think we definitely want this ruin incorporated into the city, I think. Can't build districts out in the water. So I think this is not a terrible spot. We could expand out towards the giant tree there eventually. So currently I'm just losing a bunch of money. There's nothing else going on. I should probably found my city ASAP. Early on things will go pretty quick. We're not going to be doing a whole lot. We probably want to be looking at our research and see what we want to do. I'm assuming everybody has different research. Like all the research trees are probably kind of different. These are probably the same as last time. So first to build a particular building. Wealth harvester. First to gather at least 30 units of a luxury resource. First to destroy at least 10 armies. So early on here, as far as the research goes, we do start with a few things. So we have the language square already done. We have Empire Mint already researched. So it might just be that everything is in the same order, it's just that certain things you already start with. So what would we like? Science early on might be nice. Extra production, of course, is always good. Sewer system helps our approval on our cities, which as we expand, we're definitely going to need. Open pit mines give us quite a bit. Let's do the public library first. So we have our research going there. Before we even have a city, we're already doing research. We'll try to get that settled next time. So we do have our hero, Archivist Nakampas the Third, or Nakampas Pasea. Nakampas the Third. So you are mainly a support. As with most of its kind, Nakampas spent the time of his coming of age roaming Ariga in order to add to the Drakken store of knowledge. While mapping a particularly promising fault crater, Nakampas fell through into an ancient bunker of the Endless. In a moment of ecstasy driven by drust, adrenaline, and euphoria, Nakampas gained a deep perception of the uses of dust. When he returned weeks later to study and archive the contents of the bunker, he discovered that it had been looted by vaulters. Driven to rage by this act of thievery and vandalism, Nakampas tracked and killed the group through a series of tunnels. The experience was formative in more ways than one. He became both claustrophobic and a lifelong enemy of the Vaulter people. To this day, he remains wary and mistrustful of Vaulters and tends to strike before speaking, a level of aggressiveness rare among the pacifist Drakken. So, what do we have? Range 3, Fast Learner, so gain XP faster. Heal, can heal adjacent units. More battle movement. Comes back to life if anybody survived the fight. Can slow an enemy unit. Extra health for our units. If a governor, we get a bunch of extra food. And spying, infiltrate. I didn't mess with any spying at all last time when I played through the campaign as the Wild Walkers. So I'm not sure how effective it is, but considering there's a spy faction in this game, it might be a bit of a problem. Till we have influence, I really can't do much of anything. We don't have any quests yet. I don't see... There's got to be some... I think every territory has some kind of local civilization of one sort or another. I don't see one in ours yet. And there's a varying number of cities in each one as well. So I really don't have anything else to do. Just end our turn. I don't know that I can see... Do I see everybody else in real time? Can I actually see their armies moving and stuff? I saw the armies before, so if I zoom in a bit... I don't see anything there. Just looking to see if I can see armies moving around, that kind of stuff. World is big. Very, very big. Dells, anything over here? Okay, maybe we can see stuff around their capitals. So yeah, we want to go ahead and settle. I think this is an okay spot. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but as we expand the city, we can head out that way, I think, is what we want to do. So my army... We still have some movement. We want to go exploring a bit. Okay, we've got wine in the territory. So we can kind of see the borders of our area a bit more now. I think we probably want to go east to check things out, because that's the border. Anything across the border we can't really do much about. Alright, inner city. So currently, we have one whole population, mainly focusing on just keeping us alive at the moment. We are positive on everything it looks like, which is nice. So what do we want to build? Our options are Founders Memorial, a one-time construction, creates a memorial to your leadership and the founding of your empire. Commerce, patriotism, and politics will ensure it grows quickly, so it's extra food, production, gold, research, and influence, which is nice. 60, so it does take a while to get going. An Empire Mint is just gold, and then we, of course, have our units. So yeah, we'll go with the Founders Memorial first. Makes sense to me. I don't know who the local faction is. Let's take a look at my city here. Oh, that's cool. Got like a big, weird axe kind of thing here. Yeah, very neat looking. I kind of like having, like, this is very cool looking as well to have adjacent to us. We can check this out. We'll probably do that next turn. Check this out and head east. So our current quest. A new Eerie. She extends her wings, stretching her muscles. The gesture has replaced a simple smile as she learned during the trip that a Drakken smile induces terror, not harmony. Kashinga is content. The city has been founded, and this first step of her duty responsibly executed. They are far from Drakken home, but that, she believes, was the will of the 12. Had it been her sister, Prafanai, things would have been different. They would have halted a scant few days from Drakken home. Prafanai would be too concerned with distance from tradition and not enough with movement towards the future. The 12 were wise to choose Kashinga first, and that is especially true with signs of change so heavy in the air. What to make not just of the long winters and the earthquakes, but also of something closer to home, the birth of those they call Drakkenlings. Why do the eggs that only ever produced Drakken now produce these things? Why now? Many confusing signs seem to appear and accelerate. Whatever the answers may be, it is certain that it involves change, and Parfena is ill-equipped to deal with that. The first city beyond Drakkenholm will be their hand extended to the other peoples of Auriga. It is a difficult project, and Kashinka fears it will perhaps too quickly show the strains that lie beneath the surface of their alternating diarchy. Regardless of her own worries, however, she will press on, not merely because it is the will of the 12, but also because it is the best hope of Auriga. From this new city, you will reach out to the other species of Auriga, driven by strange portents. Like eggs that bear wingless Drakkenlings, you must learn what is happening on Auriga. Level up 2 Drakkenling units to level 2, and we'll get some dust. Alright, so that is our current quest. So on our turn, let's come on over here. Let's go ahead and check out the ruin. We find 30 dust. So we're in good shape as far as that goes. These aren't any special, yeah, just nothing. There's got to be, we're like right on the border, there is some glass steel across. I think we probably want to get 2 cities out fairly quickly, but then after that we could maybe be a bit more careful about where we want to go. Gotta go around. That is Spiral Rock Peel. Strange underground landmass movements create these bizarre rock peelings. Their shape and exposed nature make them easy to gather. So, a little bit of food, a lot of production, research, money, a lot of approval. Pretty far from the city, though. Approval might be an issue as we get going. So, in our city, we're currently content. Everything's fine. Nothing too crazy. We're working on the memorial. We're mainly focusing on our food. Do we need you in food? No, we can just passively have enough food. That's fine. So let's go production so we can get this going a little faster. When it comes to everything overall, we can kind of look at sort of a general overview of things. Nothing is too crazy at the moment. Empire plans are unlocked earlier, which is kind of what we do here. 17 turns before we can get a plan, but we need influence for that. Our diplomatic stuff is half cost. I don't have much influence now to really mess with. So we can kind of look at everybody and see what's going on. We could look at each individual person and see how they are to each other as well. There's no real obvious bad enemy that's trying to wipe everybody out in this group. I don't know. Do you guys Win by conquest, typically. I don't know if it's going to show me now any information about that. We could just compliment him. That's what we can do. Send a compliment to increase influence cost of negative treaties. Decrease cost of positive treaties. But early on, you have to actually research being at peace with people and having agreements and stuff. It's in the tech tree. We've got to get to it. So it takes quite a while to get there, if what I remember. But these guys might be the closest to like a major threat. Faction of knights dependent on dust for survival. They only exist as spirits wrapped in suits of armor. They're noble warriors who wear the polished armor of chivalry and adhering to its ideals, even though they are immaterial and have lost much of their humanity. So not necessarily bad guys. Yeah, it doesn't say here anything about like what they're more likely to go for. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So we'll get XP by exploring, looking in ruins, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what we're going to do. We are positive on gold. There's got to be some kind of locals here somewhere. There's another ruin there we can check out. But I kind of want to look... Okay, so we do have a minor faction up here. Centaur-type guys. The boss are centaurs who live in herd groupings. They're nomad warriors, relatively simple and uneducated, wearing little clothing. They are less well adapted to cold climates, but still roam far and wide across Auriga. So centaur cavalry, if we assimilate them, we get extra food per pacified and rebuilt boss village. We might only have one, though. It's hard to say. There's just the one there. So we probably want to go check in with them. They'll probably give us a quest, and we can get them on our good side. Some escape specimens. Yeah, I think we'll check in with them, see if there's a quest, and then go check this out. But I think that's probably the only... Just like the one city has got to be it, I think, for our region. Which is unfortunate. So even if we assimilate them completely into the Empire... well, once we pacify them, they will add population to the local city. But it'll only be one if there's only one city. It's still helpful, but not that great. As far as their units and stuff go, if we incorporate them into the Empire, we can actually recruit them into our armies if we want to. I may not need armies as much with this faction, it's hard to say. I did actually have a hero from this faction in my last campaign. It's kind of interesting. So over here, again, we're not really doing anything. Our research is going to take quite a while. I should set up something afterward, because if you have something left over, it just goes into what the next thing is. So we're doing research. We might want to do production and research probably initially. If we're going to expand, we're going to want the sewer system. We can get emerald, gold, spices, and wine. We do have wine in our territory, so let's grab that next. Let's grab military science. And maybe get my wyverns unlocked. That's kind of an early group of things. Then we might want the mill foundry, something like that. I'm just going to queue up a whole bunch of stuff. We can't even move to the next age until we get a bunch of things done. We can get ancients pretty early, second. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe it was like that with the other factions too. It's in the second tier. It does take a while because we're fairly slow early on. Just having like one city, you don't get a whole lot of production of any of your resources really. Something happened. Population increase. Alright, nice. So that'll help us play with that. Let's go ahead and do this first. Let's get on up here. And we can go wander into other territories and check them out and grab stuff if we want to. Let's go ahead and talk to them. Free our people. The tribe leader wants proof that you're a reliable ally. They have brothers imprisoned in a nearby region, but only vague clues on the whereabouts. Find them, free them, and you will cement the tribe's trust. To pacify the boss in Fudoro, find and destroy the village located in a nearby region holding kidnapped allies. The tribe has informed you that their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in a nearby region called Shiamir, located. Locate the right Ursus village that has a marker on it and destroy it, and we'll get some dye. So we can take a look at the quest. Let's go ahead and pin that one as our main one, so we have that up here. And then I don't think we can see where it is quite yet. Shiamir. It's got to be one of the adjacent, but I can't even tell the names of the different regions until I explore them more. So, we're close. Maybe we'll go out there and check that out. And then come back down, do this. Yes, we have the quest, thank you. And in our capital, yeah, we're now going more on production, so much faster now, only 4 turns to go. So after that, we really don't have anything else crazy going on. We could get a burrow up and running right away, so we could start building towards the massive tree and expanding the city in that direction. I think that's probably not a bad idea. It is going to take forever. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Gives us a huge amount of food coming in. If we go out this way, we actually get a good amount of production. So it looks like all these tiles adjacent to the ridge have a production bonus. Alright, let's do that. That way we'll grab the massive tree as well as these forest tiles next to the ridge. So anything that's left over once we build this, we'll just filter into the next one. So early on, we're just going to mainly be focusing on the local region and expanding a little bit, checking things out. What I found in the last campaign, it seemed like I went around and did quests for everybody, like all over the place. But it seemed like all I was doing was making it easier for other empires to take over territory, which I really don't want to do. I don't want to make things easier for them. I want to make things harder for them. So we'll just leave them unless I'm planning to settle somewhere. Let's just leave it. Ursus, this actually might be the right area. So Ursus, oh, these guys are actually pretty hard to fight. Quite strong. These are giant and powerful ogres, simple-minded but humble and withdrawn. Their size and shape shows they're well-suited to heavy labor and digging pits. So they've got a city over there. Is this... Yeah, this is probably the region. Is there a highlight? There is not a highlight here, so it's not that town that we have to wreck. What is this? Ice sculptures. I don't think I saw this before. Sonic properties of these cathedrals of vaulting ice are remarkable. Sounds are swallowed or amplified depending on your location. The science of acoustics is born. Well, let's check out the ruin here. Sometimes we get quests. Oftentimes we just get money, which is fine. Let's get rid of that. They're very cool looking. And we have leveled up, so let's take a look. So we have a tech skill tree here as well as our equipment and stuff. We currently have just a bunch of tier 1 stuff. We've got a iron quarterstaff, it looks like, and our basic armor. No special gear or anything. Right now, I can't build a whole lot of things. We could make a warning bell. That's improved vision and sharp sense, which is a couple skills. I think the sharp sense reduces the damage I take from ranged attacks, and then improved vision I think just improves the vision of the army, which is generally pretty nice. Improved movement, so that's nice, helping the army move around. That's a weapon. That is a magic wand. Okay. Yeah, I mean, having something to improve the army movement would be quite nice. But I'm not going to mess with that at the moment. What do we have? So most of these are for, if you're going to be the governor, is mostly kind of this part of the tree. So what do we have over here? Extra defense on units. And then that leads into more reinforcement positions and more attack. This, we have to kind of connect over this way. So this one reduces by 10% the odds to loot nothing after searching ruins. Increases by 5 the odds to get loot or an event. So that helps us get cool stuff. Cover faster, more XP on units. All right, let's do that. I do like the idea of having more defense, but we'll try to get more of the tree a bit open by doing this. And then let's apply. So it's good, but then we'll go back to inspecting you. I am very tempted to get the extra movement. So if I do that, it's going to cost me 30 gold to grab that. So the improved movement, plus 3 initiative, plus 1 movement, and plus 1 battle movement. Apparently I can't do it. Well, probably because I'm not in my own territory. That's most likely why. So, fine. We still leveled up and got my skill point, which we can double check if I want to. Yeah. And my units here are both level 1. If we have a skill that gets XP, we'll just kind of get it passively. We'll also get it from fights, exploring, doing quests, all that kind of stuff. Can't move this turn. Nothing too crazy. We're doubling up on production. It's unfortunate we don't have any, like titanium is actually a really important early resource, and I don't see that we have any inside our early region here. There's glass steel across here, but titanium is way more useful than glass steel. It's a nice mineral-rich spot here. Extra production. It's kind of a choke point here to try to get through. I can. Let me get back over into my side. Then let's get that extra movement. Which I think will take effect next turn, so it doesn't count as me having it quite yet. We are running a little close on money production. Not fantastic, but we've been getting money for free, so hopefully that'll be okay. 2 more turns, we'll have that, which will help out a lot once this is done. Yeah, very cool looking city. So the other faction I was playing, the Wild Walkers, had an ability where they could see other armies moving around on the map. So we don't have that, so we're going to definitely need some units, like those wyverns, to just kind of hang out and like look at the borders and see if anybody's sneaking around. So while we're here, can we get down here? We can. That's not the city either. If it was, it'd be like a golden glow coming off of it because it's our highlighted quest. So let's check this out. 30 dust, all right. So we'll have to move in and look around. This one's actually a pretty big region. So this one over here, this is probably those spy guys. Just the way it looks makes me feel like it's probably them. Gotta be. Public library research is done. Moving on to open pit mine. We finished our Founders Memorial, so that's going to help a lot. Moving on to the borough streets. So if we want to take a look. A lot more gold coming in, a bit more of our influence. everything's pretty well set. So we can kind of see we do have access to wine being in our area. We don't have the research we need to get that, though, yet. So working on the borough streets. After that, we're okay on gold for now. So I think maybe we'll just go with the research. Grab the public library. All right. After a certain amount of time, we can go back and check out some of these ruins again. Could check and see what these guys want as well, but they're going to be very mad at me once I trash one of their towns. This minor faction seems surprisingly dismissive of your power, given they are pathetic in comparison to your lordly brilliance. Perhaps if other people had the same excellent opinion of you that you have of yourself, diplomatic efforts would go more smoothly. To pacify the Ursus and Shiamir, awe those village fools with the glory of your empire. Colonize the region. Okay, that's actually not bad if you wanted to take this region. You colonize it, you get these guys immediately, that gives you extra population, and they're going to give you titanium, which is actually a really good resource early on. But I need to make you guys angry by wrecking one of your villages somewhere. But we know they've got at least 2. So if I were like not in range, can I look? If I go to the quest. Yeah, since it's sort of like telling me roughly where it is, it's not going to tell me exactly where until I see the location. But, yeah, I'm not sure I'd want to settle immediately pushing on these guys' territory, but, like, it's kind of the same for them. This territory doesn't really have much food production because of the winter conditions going on here, which is kind of weird. It's like winter here and then fine everywhere adjacent to it. I'll just blame evil ice magic or something. Okay, nothing going on. Let's just keep checking things out. Seeing where they built. There's temple ruins here we could go check out inside their territory. I don't think that would make them super happy, but we could go do that. Looks like they raided this territory, this little next to them, and wiped them out with their army. Okay, we've got another ruin we can check out. What the heck is that? Igloo larva. Strange bead of worm grows an igloo-like shell around itself, then abandons it to grow another. These become huts for living, storage, and emergency shelters in cold climates. Interesting. Over here in the capital, in 3 turns we'll have some more people. That's kind of depending on your contentment level. We could go ahead and work on a settler, but I kind of want to get some of these buildings done. And I'm not sure where we want to settle exactly. I kind of want to scout the area, but we should settle soon. If I see titanium, I'm definitely going to try to settle someplace. Like, that's kind of a priority. And here, I don't see any. We haven't checked out everything. It's going to show me, like, any unusual stuff. But if there's a deposit, it would show up. And titanium is definitely what we want ASAP. We don't have a huge army here either, so we're not really prepared to do a lot of major fighting. We can probably handle small armies here initially, but I'd like at least 1 more unit. Let's see, we can have up to 4 at the moment. And let's head this way and look. That might be it back there. That is it. Look at the glow. Alright, let's check this out, though. 5 titanium. Okay. Well, these guys are pretty strong, so I don't know about fighting them. There's a couple units in there we'd have to take out. We can go ahead and launch the attack, though. I suppose we might as well. Saying they actually have a bit of an advantage. There's only 2 of them. We'll plan on a defensive fight. Call it sort of ready. This is going to be rough. My hero's probably going to have to do a bit of tanking, but my hero can do some healing. So that might be something to keep in mind. So I can slow, I can heal. I've got a 3-range attack. I don't know how much damage I do, though. Let's put you there. Everybody else is just a straight-up fighter. Infantry Slayer, fast. You've got some block. Okay. So I think we're all going to get our actions before they can do anything. We could move in, and I could try to slow them down. So if you... I want you to do a spell on him. So you should move that direction. I hope. So you're moving a little closer than I expected. There's a lot of animation for not much damage. Yeah, this is going to be a little rough, I think. Hopefully they don't hit us too hard. We do have the block. Not ideal, but they're not doing a ton of damage. Alright. You guys... stay put. Attack him. Actually, attack him. You guys... move there, and you should get an attack off. I'm gonna have you hold position. And heal these guys. Taking a lot of damage. These are definitely tougher enemies than you'd usually be fighting early on. With the heal, I can probably keep these guys going. So yeah, hold your ground, fight him. You... hold your ground, attack him. Hold our ground, and I will keep healing. Did way less damage that time. Okay, so they're all set doing the same thing. You're still set doing the same thing. So looks like this is going to take a while, but we are winning the fight slightly, I think. Yeah, we're not doing very much damage. Definitely need some better gear. There's nothing else I can really do. Yeah, we'll just keep healing, staying here. Once we get down, like, one of them taken out, we'll be in much better shape. There's sort of dice rolls going on behind the scenes about how much damage we're doing, how much damage we're taking, all that kind of stuff. Based on our stats. We are holding. Once we've got that first one down, taking out the others should be a lot easier. Lost a guy. Fought too long. We ended up having kind of a stalemate there for the turn. Draw, no winner. But I did almost kill that one guy. So we'll have to wait till next turn. We can launch the attack again. They should still be hurt from where they were before. We'll still be a little hurt from where we are. In the city, we're just working on stuff. A couple turns, we'll have some more units coming in. Yeah, I might want to just go ahead and pop out a settler after that. But that's going to slow our production, our population growth once we start working on a settler. So we'll worry about it once we have some other stuff done. All right. Let's go back. Back in it. We're going to go defensive. Yeah, that one guy's pretty trashed. So for setup, I want you out front. Do something kind of like this. Alright. We're pretty quick, a lot faster than they are. Let's see if I can do like a ranged attack at that guy. You go ahead and go for him. You just move like there. Not enough for a kill, but he's really close. Healthier guys are out front. I might want to let him come out because we can't really gang up on that front guy here. So you guys move there. You guys move there. And you make that attack on the back. Should finish him off. Yeah. Nice. Took no damage, got a good counterattack off. So my hero, hold still, heal these guys up. These guys, go for the attack, go for the attack. A reason we didn't attack there? Or am I crazy? Or did we? Like, I feel like we didn't attack there. Could be a morale issue. Keep healing them. Yeah, I don't think we're going to take this guy out before we run out of time. But at this point, since we have him outnumbered, let's go ahead and just go for a hit on him and see what we can do there. Nice hit. I'm just going to do the same. You guys attacking, you guys are attacking, you're attacking. Let's just do that again. There we go, nice, we got him. Alright, so we just have to return to the tribe and restore their trust. So basically tell them what we did, we'll get 80 dust, and they'll be pacified. Got all my movement. We need to go back there. So probably we want to go around this way. I'm assuming they're not going to be super happy with us in this area, but it's hard to say. And I think we'll heal up over time, I think naturally. I'm not 100% sure. But we can heal in combat if we have to. But yeah, this territory, nothing like super fantastic that I want in it, although colonizing it gets it for me immediately. Oh, there's titanium up there. But that's kind of far away for us to sort of incorporate into the Empire. So I think we'll probably get these guys, and then we'll just start checking out the other adjacent territories and see where we want to expand to next. I want titanium ASAP. That's kind of a priority. If this other territory that has ghost steel or glass steel has titanium as well, that's a really good location for us. So over here, we've got the street coming. Yeah, just city expansion. Something happening. Population increase. Nice. We do need more food to support the city, but we're still fine. So we actually have positive food. Just put everybody in production, get things going a little faster. Gold is okay. Yeah, it's not too expensive to keep everything going. We are building up some production and influence pretty quickly, which is nice. Let's plan on like a mint afterwards. And then probably we'll grab a settler, because I want to check out the area. Oh, something going on. New Empire plan will be unlocked in 6 turns. Save some influence points. So it's just something we can do to kind of help our Empire get some different bonuses. We can just make it down here to talk to these guys and turn in our quest. Alright. Congratulations, all the villagers are now pacified in the region called Fudoro. You've gained the confidence of the boss tribe in the region. So we got some money for that as well. So now we could assimilate them in if we wanted to have them join as a military that we can actually incorporate into our empire. I don't know, like they're okay. I didn't have any before. I think these guys are better. The Minotaur guys are really strong. I'd like having some good frontline fighters, but it seems like my guys are decent frontline fighters. And we got another level. Alright, what's our priority? So we can go even more on getting stuff from ruins. Extra recovery speed. That's just for the hero. Extra XP per turn on units. I think that's good, because we have a quest to kind of get our guys going. And if we want to, we can assimilate them into the Empire. I don't know, I can't really see... Alright, here's their unit. Decent health, speed, defense. So they're fast, ranged slayers. They have block, sharp senses. Not bad. Free counter. So yeah, they're honestly not bad at all. It only cost me 30 to assimilate them, and we've got 53. You know what? I think I will. So if we want to look at that, we can now see that we have a certain number of slots for assimilating factions into the Empire. So they are now in the Empire, so I can now recruit them in the army if I want to. So let's see, armies. So if we have better equipment and gear, we can change things out for what we want. So they're starting with pretty basic stuff. We can give them better things. We at least give them some more armor. So they're starting with like a basic shield and an iron axe. We can at least give them boots and head armor and all that kind of stuff too. Definitely good frontline fighters, so the free counter and counterattack once. Yeah, pretty nice. Let's definitely just plan on, if we're going to build you guys, we're going to want the best version of you possible. So the fully armored, kitted up version of you guys is what we want. So it just kind of changes what it's going to cost to build them if I want to. The less gear we have, just the cheaper it is to get the guys out, the faster we can build them. Yeah, let's go ahead and plan on that. So it's now Centaur 2 if we want to build. We can do the same thing with our own guys, but we have our gear. Oh, we actually don't have armor and stuff. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the same thing. So I want you guys fully armored up. So we can kind of see what each individual thing does. So this extra health, this is extra defense and health. And then the boots give us some extra, what is it, initiative and block, so defense. So now if we want to build guys, it does cost a little bit more. We could make a less armored version or units with not using limited resources and that kind of stuff, but we're fine for now. I think prioritizing this area to check is probably what I'll do next because we know there's glass steel. If there's titanium as well, we're going to be in good shape. Titanium is really what I need early on. It's way more useful than the glass steel. At least I think so, especially for military stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and like this to go away. Why does this keep... There we go. All right, so yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it there. So we got our first quest in, first quest done. We've checked out a region. We've got our first city settled. We are probably going to be following mainly the quest line to actually get us to where we need to be for winning the game, I would assume, because we're supposed to be a diplomatic-focused faction. Yeah, it's kind of neat. This almost looks like there's people living in there, and there's little, like, pathways dug into the giant tree stump there. That's new. Ruby Cactus Field. Yeah, some of the stuff I haven't seen before on the other map. I played on a different kind of map, but it was still sort of a normal distribution of stuff, but it seems like there's a wide variety of different kinds of terrain. Kind of odd that like the ice and snow is right next to these lush forests and things, but sure. All right, this has been more of Endless Legend, playing as our Drakken, dragon-y type guys. Hopefully I will see you all again in the next one. We'll kind of check in and see how it's going. Until then, have a good one.